everybody, it's Jennifer from The Good Life. I'm so excited to do another felt stocking tutorial with you guys. Today we're going to look at this stocking. I decided to pick this stocking out for my youngest son who just turned 1 and he doesn't have a stocking yet. So we're going to be doing that today. In this tutorial, this first video, we're going to go over just some basic items that you need to actually make your stocking with. So before you even start, you have to have these items first, okay? So first of all, you need a couple of Ziploc bags. The Ziploc bag that I use for my stocking to hold in is a 2-gallon freezer bag. You can get these at any Walmart. And then I also grabbed a small box of snack bags. They're really small. They're about this big. And I use these for my beads and my sequins and stuff. So those are important to have, and those are a really great way to sort your beads and your sequins so that you don't make a mess. The bags that they come in look like this. They're little tiny plastic bags, and they are sorted in colors. But there's really no way to seal them back when you're done using them. So I found the best way to keep them from, falling everywhere or losing a bunch was to buy a bunch of little plastic bags. So I highly recommend doing that. Also, what you'll need is one of these. I just recently bought this and I thought this ring was super cool because it's nice and big, and if we wanted to add extra colors to it, you could. And this came with a bunch of thread holders. And I already sorted out my thread, and I marked each color. So that's white, obviously, and then black and red and all that stuff. So get one of these. These are really, really handy, really cheap at Walmart. Another thing that I recommend is getting a tomato or whatever. Sometimes they come in different colors, like one's a grape or something. This one's a tomato. This will hold all of your needles so you don't lose your needles. The kit comes with 2 needles. This needle is for embroidery and threading and attaching your felt pieces to the actual stocking, and this needle is for your beads and your sequins. This one's thicker and this one's a little thinner, so they're pretty easy to tell apart. Another thing I would recommend is getting a little box of straight pins. I like these ones because they have little heads on them, so you can see them and they don't shrink into the felt and you lose them forever. So, also, I just grabbed these thread cutters. You could also use them to cut out the felt. Normally I have 2 pairs of scissors. One pair of scissors is like a fabric scissor that's big, and the other one's really little. Unfortunately, I don't have those this time, so I just bought a little scissor for cutting things anyway. You'll need a pencil so you can mark things on your instructions. And last but not least, you'll need some polyfiber fill. Really cheap stuff. You don't need a lot of it. I think this is the smallest bag that I could find, and I probably won't use that much of it because it's a stocking and you're not stuffing a pillow. So get a bag of this. This will be really helpful. So in your stocking kit, the one that I have looks like this. It's a cute little Santa on an airplane dropping presents onto the village. I thought that was really cute. So it comes with felt printouts, a bunch of them. And it's really cool because they're numbered and they're pretty organized. You can see all the numbers, and the dotted lines mean that some pieces overlap other pieces, so you have to make sure that you do them in order. So reading the instructions. This blue piece is the front of the stocking. And in most kits you start with this piece first because this is the very front of the stocking that you'll be working on, and we'll do little embroideries first, but that'll be in our next tutorial. This is what the instructions look like. You open up your package, and the first page gives you a really clear picture of what the stocking is going to look like when it's done. This is a really big page. So it gives you a really clear outline of all the numbers and sequin orders and everything. And also this one comes with an ornament, which I'm really excited to do also. I'll do a little tutorial on how to put that one together. It's pretty easy. So that's the first page. Also there's an alphabet down here for embroidering the name for whoever you're doing it for. In this case we're doing it for my son, Cameron. There's also another piece of paper that has the instructions. This is the most important part of the stocking. So this is also a really big sheet of paper. I'll show you. Big sheet of paper. Luckily we'll only be using one side because the other side is a different language and I don't speak that, so we'll just stick with English. Okay, so the first chart shows you different kinds of the threading you'll be doing, and it demonstrates everything that you need. And this chart shows you the different stitches and how many strands per stitch required. So these are the strands. So if you want to do a stitch, you have to look here in this column and see how many strands for that specific stitch. So make sure you pay attention to that. It also shows you colors, what colors to use, and then it gives you the number. If you for some reason run out, you can actually contact them and they can give you thread. I've never had that problem, but you never know. Anyway, so this column shows you how many yards of thread are in each color. So when you actually open your kit up, it's basically a wad of, it's not a messy wad, it's a pretty organized wad of colors that you have to sort yourself. This kit's pretty easy. There aren't any strange colors you have to kind of figure out yourself. They're pretty standard colors. So that's this column, and then this column is just different names, like languages for different colors. So I wouldn't really worry about that column. This right here is helpful hints that they recommend you read before you start. So I'm going to read those real quick so that you have an idea of what you should be doing before you even start. So helpful hint number 1, read general instructions first before starting project. That's always a good idea, because if this is your first stocking and you don't read the instructions, guaranteed you will miss something, or you'll make a little mistake that will compromise the look of the stocking. So please make sure that you read all the instructions before you start. Number 2, refer to label photo as you wish. The label photo is the second paper that has the picture of the actual stocking on it. Number 3, only cut pieces out one at a time. This is really important because if you cut out, say you cut out the first 5 pieces and you happen to only put on 3 pieces and then you're like, you know what, I don't want to work on this anymore, the chances of you actually losing those pieces are pretty darn high. I'm speaking from experience. I've had to recreate pieces from the shape that they were from as needed. This happened probably my second stocking, and it's not a good idea. So make sure that only work with pieces that you're working with, cut them out one at a time. Number 4, work pieces in numerical order unless otherwise noted in instructions. Now I've done close to 12 stockings now, and I've never come across this, ever. I've never had a stocking where it was out of order, so it's very interesting. Maybe there's a stocking out there that's out of order. And number 5, when stuffing applique pieces, sew 3/4 of the way around the piece, add the fiber fill, then sew closed. This should be a no-brainer. But I've actually made the mistake of closing up a piece and then looking back in the instructions and thinking, oh shoot, I need to fill this with fiber fill. And I literally had to take the thread, cut it off, re-sew it 3/4 of the way, then fill it, and then sew it again. It's a time waster, basically. So if you're gonna put one of these stockings together, please pay attention to which piece you're doing and making sure that if it's a piece you need to stuff, that you only do 3/4 of the way around, and then stuff it, and then close it. Okay, very important. Further down in the instructions it says, stitcher's note. Before you begin stitching, please sort your floss according to color and yardage. Okay, Okay, I said that earlier. So basically, before you start, make sure this is color coordinated and organized. So it's just easy for you to just pick up a floss and go. Real quick, I wanted to show you these little bags for my beads and my sequins. So I just grabbed a bunch of bags and I filled them with sequins and beads. And this is beads, right? Beads, beads, sequins, sequins. So these are really easy to use and you can see them and you don't have to worry about them rolling away or you drop them on the floor. I've done that so many times. I can't tell you how many beads I've lost. Luckily they give you a ton of beads, so the chances of you running out of beads are pretty slim. Same with sequins, they give you plenty of sequins. There was maybe one occasion where I found that I didn't have enough, but luckily I did a stocking before that, so I had some in that stocking kit that I kept, which was good. So it's very rare, but it can happen. Don't let that scare you though. So this is how I organize my beads. I know in my first tutorial I didn't show you this, so I figured I might as well include it in this tutorial so you guys have an understanding of how I do it. So that's how I organize my beads and my sequins. I'm going to read the instructions for you for this particular kit. As if you're following along, we do the same thing if you're doing a different kit. That's awesome. Just read the same instructions. I think they're pretty similar on all the kits. Refer to the label photograph as you stitch and assemble your stocking. That's this page. The one with the picture of the stocking. All appliques are numbered. I showed you that earlier. They have numbers. They're numbered. Numbers on each applique indicate pieces to be placed on that piece. Position appliques as shown on the diagram. Okay? So there's actually on, you'll be able to see on the actual stocking that there are outlines. There's an outline for this particular piece, and you'll be able to match it up as best as you can. Sometimes they don't match perfectly, just do the best you can. Try to stay within the lines if you can. On the design chart, back pieces are indicated by numbers in boxes. So for example, right here, that means that this particular number piece goes in the back. Sequins are indicated as symbols. If you go down here in the sequins section, you'll see all these symbols here. And these symbols match these ones on here. That's just basically what it's saying. Only a few sequins are shown on the design chart. Continue at attaching sequins of the same color to each applique. So if the applique that you're embroidering calls for red, make sure your sequins are red and that your beads are red. If your sequins are black, your beads are black. If your sequins are white, then if your sequins are white, then your beads are clear. Most colors will be indicated by the beads. So for this kit, there are red beads and white beads, that's it. Okay? There are no other beads. So if there are only red beads and white beads, that means the sequins that are red and the sequins that are white get those correlated colors. Every other color sequin gets a clear bead. Continue at attaching sequins of the same color to each applique. Embroidery stitches are indicated on the design chart. We suggest that you purchase polyfiberfill to stuff areas indicated. Only stuff appliques enough to create a three-dimensional effect, unless otherwise noted. When attaching a new applique, only stitch the applique to the felt pieces directly under the new piece. Do not go through the stuffing or to the bottom layers. It ruins the effect of the polyfiberfill when you do that. When attaching a new applique, only stitch the applique to the felt pieces directly under the new piece. Refer to design chart and color symbol chart for floss colors, stitch diagrams, strand amounts, sequin/bead colors, and other kit contents. Okay, so basically all I said earlier was to look and refer to this chart. This is your guide. This is your guide to a successful stocking. as well as the instructions that follow. So the next tutorial that I will be showing you guys will be starting this stocking. So I'm super excited to make another stocking with you guys, and I'm super excited about all of the people that have subscribed to me, and I hope that if you're new to my channel that you'll subscribe also. Click like if you like this video, and if you want to hear more from me, comment below. If you want to ask questions, that's great. I'm excited that you guys are interested in what I have to share with you. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.